Welcome everybody. No. Welcome everybody. My name is Josh.
And I'm Jessie.
Yeah.
He calls me Jessie. I'm Jess.
Yeah. That's a privilege that only I get. So
And everyone else on this channel, because our channel's name is Josh and Jessie.
It is?
Yeah.
But we are officially 10 days away from the big day, from the wedding. So we thought of 10 questions that we can kind of go through. Thought it'd be useful for people who are in a similar situation as us, somewhere along the engagement planning, or who might be also within 10 days of getting married, who could benefit from something like this. Or
And just like getting to know us, because it's a new channel, kind of.
yeah.
So yeah, we're like engaged and getting married in 10 days.
Yeah, or if you just like going down YouTube rabbit holes and you want to listen to Q&A videos, watch this one. Yeah, we have 3 categories of questions. First one, questions about engagement. Second one, questions about wedding planning. Third one, questions about the wedding.
Yeah.
So,
Also, if you hear background noise, it's the washer.
yes.
It's probably gonna be really loud, but.
I'm moving into the apartment we're both going to be living into.
Woo!
So, we're doing...
in 2 days?
Yeah. So I'm catching up on all the laundry that I procrastinated for months.
Also, subscribe if you guys want to see our moving videos and all that stuff. That's so exciting.
Yes. If you want to watch me carry boxes and Jesse yell at me. If I wipe my face, it's because it's hot, because we turned off the AC because it was too loud.
And it's leaking.
And it's leaking. Good thing I'm moving. But so 3 questions on engagement. First one, how did you propose? I'm curious to hear how you described it.
My perspective, I knew. So we were long distance for probably almost a year and a half at this point. So we only saw each other once every like few months because it was like expensive for him to like fly. And at that point, I think you had just started your job, but like for the majority of our long distance, you were only working like part-time. So it was a lot. So I knew that he was visiting in April and I was going to be visiting him in May. But in May, our friend was going to be proposing to his girlfriend. So I was like, oh, he wouldn't propose the same weekend. That's like weird because like we were literally planning a weekend trip for his proposal. So I knew you wouldn't like, I mean, that would actually be really smart if you guys like planned it so that I thought it was their proposal, but it was your proposal. But we were going to the Poconos and that had like no sentimental value. So anyway, we were going to a concert that we both like for an artist that we really liked, and he actually sings the song that is going to be for our first dance, which is really cool.
You could tell them the name of it.
Oh yeah, so we went to a Chris Rensema concert. Antoine Bradford opened up, which was really cool because I really like him. I thought he was going to propose at the concert because there were actually really good romantic moments for him to propose at the concert.
So
but
many.
I like had a feeling he was going to propose that weekend. So literally the Saturday before, I think it was like the weekend before, I went with my friend to get my nails done. And I was like, I think he's going to propose. So I'm just going to get my nails done. If not, then he owes me $150. Whatever. And like I knew he already had the ring. Or like I knew you ordered it. I didn't know if you had it already, but I knew that you ordered it.
How did you know I ordered it?
Because I asked you and I managed your finances.
You didn't? No. You didn't know I ordered it.
Yeah, no, I knew you ordered it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did, because I bothered you about it. I'm like, you're never gonna propose. Anyway, I was like horrible. So
Did I tell you I ordered it?
yeah, he told me that he ordered the ring. He didn't tell me where. He didn't tell me how long it was gonna take. What kind of ring? He didn't tell me anything about that. But like, I
guess
knew
I
that
did.
he was like in the process. So anyway, I had a feeling he was gonna propose that weekend because otherwise it wouldn't make any other sense. And then he was like, oh, on Saturday, let's go to this park. And this boy never plans anything ever. So I was like, oh, he's totally proposing at the park on Saturday. But then at the concert, it like kind of made sense if you wanted to propose then. So I thought you would propose then, but you didn't. And then we walk around this entire park, which I had been to with my sister, but I actually hadn't been to some of the spots that we ended up walking around. And there were so many like moments where you could have proposed. So I was just like, come on now, come on now. And it was cold. it was like one of the coldest days that I've ever experienced in Charlotte at this point because I'd really only been here in the summer, and I like skipped the winter months. I was back in Jersey for a while, and it was like one of the coldest days. I really wanted to like leave, but also I got into a car accident on the way to the park. We were driving out of my parking garage in my apartment, and I had a rental car because I don't actually own a car. So I was driving my friends out of the garage, and I had made this turn so many times successfully, and this one time right before we went to the park, I like scraped it against the edge of the garage exit. Anyway, so I was all like stressed out because I was like, I just scratched my rental car. Like, it was bad. It was like pretty dented. Luckily I like had some insurance on it. But anyway, so it's like the end of our little walk around. We were doing like a couple's photo shoot, so I was taking photos of our friends and they were taking some photos of us. And like Josh had us all like dressed up nice, and he doesn't really dress up nice. So like I was like pretty sure he was gonna propose, but by the end of it I like kind of gave up. I was just like, oh, maybe he thought it was like a bad day. So you like decided not to. Then we walked on like the little bridge, and he was like, I have a vision. And I'm like, oh, well, let the boy execute his vision. But he never has. He doesn't say that. That was like a weird thing to say. You wouldn't. Why would you be like, I have a vision?
Okay, that's fair. But
so
I have visions.
He was like, I want a picture at the front of the bridge, the middle of the bridge, and at the end of the bridge. So we take the pictures at the front of the bridge. Then we're taking the pictures in the middle of the bridge. And then I do the little hugging pose. And he said, do you feel that? And I was like, what?
Because I had a suit jacket on.
Yeah. And the ring was in his breast pocket. The whole day I was like kind of checking out his pocket, seeing if he had anything.
But my
his
friend had it.
Had his ring, which, I mean, duh. Everyone does that. I don't know why I thought. Yeah. And I was like, no, I actually didn't feel it at all. And then he like got down on one knee, said some stuff about making my name longer. And then, yeah. And then I said yes. I didn't cry. I wasn't like emotional. I was just like, yay, yippee. But like, I mean, it was nice. It was good. It was good job. You did a good job. And it was a good spot for having not known the city at all. Like, he picked this based on like internet searches. It was a good spot. It was also kind of private. Like, there weren't a lot of people.
Yeah, there were a lot of things I could have done better, but at the end of the day, I think we just both wanted to get it done and move on. So,
like what though? Like, what could you have done better? I don't think you could have done anything better. That's why I'm saying
I was
like it was
going
nice.
to-
I think like just like the circumstances of the day, like it being cold and like,
I was going to originally propose it at the concert, but I straight up asked her, because she doesn't like surprises. I was like, what if I just proposed to you at the concert? And she was like, no, that would be horrible.
Yeah, I did say that, but I didn't think he would play like. There was this one song that like is our first dance song, and it ended up being kind of romantic. You know, like it would have been nice. But the thing is, like, I was also worried, like, if he was gonna say something, I wouldn't be able to hear him if we were at a concert.
I wouldn't need to say anything. Chris Wazema would say everything with the song. But it's okay. Whatever.
I thought it was a good proposal. I ruined it for myself. Like, if I didn't try to figure it out, then maybe I would have been a lot more emotional.
That's impossible. So the proposal, just because of the way we are, it wouldn't have been anything crazy.
Yeah, there was no. First
she
of all, we're not
tortured
extravagant
me.
people.
She
Oh my
tortured
god.
me every single, like, for months before then, like, when are you going to propose? You have the ring. When is it going to be? How are you going to do it? What shape is the ring? And, like...
Hey, I didn't ask for the ring shape.
You did.
I did?
You asked it several times. That's why I told you it's a circle. But you were like, no, what shape is the gem? And I was just like...
Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, what shape is it? And he said a circle. I was like, but I told you I don't like the circle ones. And then he was like, well, all rings are circle.
Yeah. She doesn't like surprises, so it's...
Yeah, I don't.
I think we did pretty darn decent.
Did I miss anything?
She actually did let me drive the car, but driving back from the park, because she was very much so still shaken. She was still shaken up from scratching the garage door.
That was rough.
That was rough on me. I was like, okay, well, it's cloudier than I
Well,
thought it would be.
Not only that,
She scratched the door.
we were stuck. The car was literally dented into.
Yeah, if you kept driving forward, the door would have been gone.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad.
I've like never got. That was the only accident I've ever gotten into. Like I didn't even hit a cone when I was learning how to parallel park, so I was like really unokay about that. Like, it was not. It was not great.
But we got some funny photos from it. Like, there's a
We did.
genuine candid picture where we're both looking at the camera that my friends have, where we both just have thumbs up and we're both just smiling. It was really funny.
Oh, cause he was doing a Facebook Live for like my family.
Yeah.
To see the proposal. I didn't know you were doing a Facebook Live. I was just being a goof and doing a thumbs up, but you were doing it to the camera that actually had the Facebook Live.
No, I was doing it to the picture camera.
Oh, yeah, it's funny. Maybe we'll insert it here if I can find the picture.
Yeah. But that was how the proposal went. Second question. How did you feel about the timing of your engagement? Was it too short? Was it too long? I can answer this one. I didn't feel like it was too short or too long, but I do feel like because of our life circumstances and how we were juggling a lot of things, like I moved to Charlotte. That was not an easy thing to do because of all the obstacles during the middle of our engagement in terms of like jobs, in terms of where I'm gonna live. Am I going to move to Charlotte? Is she going to move up? We were in danger of either having too long of an engagement or jumping the gun way too early. So as far as the timing, I don't think it was too long or too short. I actually think it was perfect. I know that's a very cliche Christian thing to say, like, oh, God's timing is perfect. But usually I'm like, no, God, that was too late. And then in hindsight, it was perfect. But as far as the timeline of our engagement, I'm kind of in sync with, hey, this is happening at the perfect time, and I completely agree with how it's going. But that's my take on it. I don't think it was too long or too short. For reference, it was about what, a year and April,
A year and like
June,
5
July,
months.
August, and 4 months.
Okay.
A year and 4 months.
I disagree. One, I think we got engaged too late. Like, would I change it? No. You know what I mean? But, like, if I could do it again, would I date for 5 years? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we got engaged
And then
at the
4-year mark. We were after the 4-year mark. Or we were right before the 4-year mark.
right before the 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have, like, if I could do it again, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I'm up for dating for another 4 years, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think our engagement was too long. Like, if I could do it again, I would plan the wedding closer to when we got engaged. But I also would have planned the wedding for longer because the way we ended up planning the wedding was really only like 3 months.
4.
Like, we booked the venue at like 4 months and then did nothing for the first month because our friends were getting married and we were mostly focused on that trip.
Yeah.
And making sure that went smoothly. I was taking some trips to New Jersey. Yeah, we were like kind of everywhere all at once in the first month. And then we started like seriously planning. Because like invites didn't go out until 2 months before, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. I would
2
plan the
months.
wedding for longer, be
Months?
engaged for
3
shorter,
months.
and get engaged earlier if I had to do it again. Like if someone was like relive this entire thing. But like I think it happened perfectly in our circumstances. You know?
Mm-hmm. What did you both do to become closer to one another in preparation for marriage? So, for one, a lot of people, when we got engaged, they told us, oh, enjoy engagement, it's such a fun time. I disagree. I thought it was pretty miserable. And I'm sure other couples have much different experiences when they're engaged. For us, it was just exhausting transitions, a lot of just straight up opinions and challenges in the both of our lives that we weren't going to go back on our word, but so we just had to deal with it and kind of cope with that and like pray through it and ask for God's blessing and peace through that.
Yeah, and a lot
So
of like balancing honoring the people that we love and who love us, and
Yeah.
also setting boundaries for like what we actually wanted in our relationship. That was challenging.
Yeah, it was very.
It's still
very
challenging. I mean, that's just a challenging aspect of like
Yeah.
anything.
It was validating though. Like last Sunday, we talked, or you talked with one of our friends from church, and you were just like, "How was your engagement? Was it great?" And they were just like, no. A lot of people say that engagement's great, but it actually kind of sucked for us.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was validating. But one very clear thing I did to become closer to you was I moved.
Yeah.
I moved to the state you're in, so I closed that gap, and she helped out, where we're no longer long distance, and that helped a lot.
Yeah, I think for me too, along the lines of you moving here, as soon as you moved here, I stopped, like, not acting independent, but like I started relying on you more, and also started allowing you to rely on me, and like not making that like we're two independent people, like you do you, I do me. Like I would give you like tips in your first apartment to like make sure that you were being safe and like careful and things like that, like things I had figured out while I was living here on my own. And then I also let you like cook meals for me and whatever. So like I think interdependence grew a little bit more.
Yeah. It was a weird stage for me because I never lived on my own before, so I didn't have an independent phase. It was more like independent for here and there, and then right into interdependence. So going into actual marriage, I might be lacking on some of the more independent things.
Yeah, like he always wants alone time. He doesn't even know that it sucks.
That's normal. Wanting alone time
Sucks.
is normal. Question number 4. Was wedding planning easier or harder than you expected? You can answer this one.
Was wedding planning easier or harder?
Yeah, harder, easier, harder. It's the same question. Than you expected.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I told myself in the beginning of my engagement, and like a few of my friends can vouch for me, that I literally said, I am not going to plan this wedding until I can plan it in a stress-free context. So like when we first got engaged, I was taking a bunch of like licensing exams for my job. We were trying to figure out who was moving where and whatever, and I was just like, I'm not even going to plan this wedding until I know what's going to be going on and I can like plan it in a stress-free way. So in that way, I think it was harder because I was definitely stressed. Like, duh. So I don't know what I thought. Like, I think our circumstances, like, we were in the best timing of our engagement to start planning a wedding 4 months ago or whatever it was. But in that way, it was harder because I didn't expect myself to kind of go nuts the way that I did about, like, little details. I thought I just wouldn't care about everything. And then as we got closer to the wedding, like, all these little details started to matter a little bit more to me. Like, we talked about party favors, I think, when we first got engaged, and I'm like, oh, those are stupid, I don't want them. And then suddenly I'm going nuts researching party favors for, like, hours. Like, that's an example of how, like, my perspective kind of changed as we got closer to the wedding. But in some ways it was easier because I actually planned to have, like, a mostly DIY wedding when we were first talking about our wedding. And then we ended up having, like, an all-inclusive venue, and we didn't have to do a lot of that. And it was a faster process than I thought. Chasing down people for RSVPs was one of the hardest things in the world.
I'm just getting the dog.
Yeah, but he's gonna try to knock over the camera because we've never done this before.
Token, listen to me. Don't knock down the camera.
Token, come on up here.
Don't take my spot.
Okay, well, we'll just let him do his own thing for a little bit.
Hi, dog.
This is our dog. This is that's our dog. Okay.
Dog says,
Don't do that.
He says, this is a expensive chew toy.
This is my dog.
Yes, we'll make a video about our dog one day. Good boy. Good boy.
Who wants a bully stick?
Maybe he just wants to do this?
Maybe.
You don't fit, buddy. You don't fit.
Of course you do.
Should I give him a boy stick?
Yeah, if you want to continue.
I would like to continue.
Brief pause.
Give this video a thumbs up, or put it in the comments if you want us to make a video on Black Beauty over there.
Black Beauty.
Yeah. So, was wedding planning easier or harder than you expected? I think I was more involved in wedding planning than most guys.
For sure.
I think it was like, what, a 70-30 effort?
What?
Well, I would have seen...
You to me?
No, you to me.
Okay. 70, because when you say 70-30, it sounds like you're 70, I'm 30.
No.
Okay.
Would you agree 70-30 is fair?
No, I would say it was like 65, 35.
Okay, well, if you want to
like,
go with the 5s.
Yeah, well, I think he was very involved. He helped out a lot with like the moving process too, which took a lot off my plate while I was, because like he's moving 2 days from now, and then it's wedding week. And like family's coming into town, and then we get married, and then we go on our honeymoon for a little bit, and then I'm moving. So there's like a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, it is my apartment. You'd expect I'd pack up my own apartment, you know?
Yes, I have been doing.
So that doesn't really count,
But I've been doing a good chunk of helping you pack too. But like I think, like even just like the errands too. Like you always coming along, so.
I would say that.
And like I didn't decide on anything on my own. Like we shared all the decisions.
So I would say that, like, here's the thing. We watched a video on, like, wedding expectations and wedding planning. Wedding planning itself is easy. Like, scheduling a venue, figuring out what colors you want, what you're going to wear, that's very easy stuff.
Yeah, green.
But managing other people's expectations, setting boundaries if they weren't there initially, that's the tough part. Because, I mean, you only have one, if you're a parent, you only have one of your kid, so you have, what, 20, 25, 30 years of these expectations building up of what you want their wedding to look like, and if you never have that conversation with your kid and you're just like, oh, you know, this is what I want, there's disappointment if it's not what you expect, or if your kid is planning a wedding that isn't going the way that you thought it would.
Yeah.
So it's like understanding, like, hey, I don't understand that's something you wanted, but at the end of the day, this is our wedding. So we hear you, we'll take it into consideration, but it's not what we want.
Yeah. And I think it's also like, parents don't think about their kid's wedding all the time, and then they realize they have all these expectations and never communicated it.
Yeah.
And like, what's it called? Setting that boundary of like, a kid was raised who will think most similarly to you, and then they meet someone who thinks differently. We even changed our mind about things. Like, we initially wanted to DIY a bunch of things, and then we were like, oh, never mind. We were initially going to get married in New Jersey, and then we decided, like, the majority of our guests are here. So, like, a lot between the two of us has changed, like, across the two of us, collectively, and then also, like, I think our individual mindsets have changed because we realized how much work and money and time goes into each individual thing. We were like, okay, that's not, like, as feasible as maybe it was when our parents were getting married, or it's not as feasible as it would have been if we were in a different financial situation, or if we weren't planning within 3 months, or if we weren't, like, planning in this state that, like, we only know X amount of towns because we just got here. Like, certain things like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Last question. This one's pretty easy. Were you both equally involved in wedding planning? I would
we
say.
already said this, yeah.
Yeah. Again, no. She did most of the planning, as most future brides
I wouldn't
do.
say I did the most. I think I did more of the management side of things, like more of the admin work behind planning a wedding.
Right.
And you did a lot of the decisions, and a lot of the execution couldn't have happened without you. Like, when I went dress shopping for the last time to confirm that my dress was the one that I wanted, he drove me to that appointment. So, like, I wouldn't say, you know what I mean? But I think it took up more of my mental capacity than it took up yours.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I was constantly shopping online. I was constantly, like, multitasking and trying to figure things out. And it was more like instances when you were, like, heavily involved.
Yeah, I would say like 90% of the decisions we made for the wedding, we made them by talking with one another, and we made them together.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
yeah,
would say like 99. Can't really think of a lot that weren't made together.
that's true.
We both had a few non-negotiables. Like, for example, you really wanted favors, so I tried really hard to find a way that we could have favors that I found were acceptable. Because, like, I wanted to have a favor that if nobody picked it up, we would still want it. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Wedding questions. How big or small is the wedding?
It feels big to me, but it's small.
I
But
think,
sometimes it looks small to me because I expected more considering how many people we invited.
yeah, I think we're at like what 90 to 96 people.
No, our total is 85. 84.
Really?
Yep.
85.
Well, and then if those, the people that are still in their maybe
Mhm.
situations, if
Maybe
they
they show up.
come, then we're still at like 88.
hmm So, the way that our venue works is like we have a limit of 100 people. So we could have had 100 people.
Well, not a limit. The price that we're paying for includes 100 people. We could have
yeah,
more,
yeah, we could have more.
but then you start paying per plate.
100 guests is like considered relatively small for a wedding. It felt like a lot for us.
I don't know how you chase down RSVPs for over 100 people.
Yeah.
Because I think at least, like, what was it? I think 13 people RSVP'd on their own and the rest we chased down.
hmm Pretty much. I sent an accidental message to
Oh, gosh.
really early in the RSVP
I was so
process.
mad.
She was upset because I screwed up and I addressed it to I think Adrian,
No,
and I sent it
wasn't,
to every single person.
I wasn't upset. I was like embarrassed, and I felt like it like messed up the professionalism of our event a little
The
bit.
professionalism of a
Like,
wedding.
just, like
Um,
it just like was funny. It
Yeah.
was funny. Like in retrospect, it's like a little bit funny, but
and I knew it would be,
cringy.
but like she called me in the middle of work and she felt very, very upset, very embarrassed.
Well, not only that, at that point, I've been managing invites and RSVPs all on my own. Like, we had made the physical invitations together, but all of the digital invitations that were going out, I was the one sending them out.
Yeah.
So then he decided one day to randomly start learning how to use our website, and then did it wrong. So that's what made me mad too, because I was like, why didn't you just, one, ask me to do it, or ask me to show you? Like, so I was like annoyed with like the lack of communication, kind of.
Yeah.
But
It was like a breach in trust issue more than anything. But that accidental message got like 20, 30 people to RSVP. So,
it worked out.
yeah, it worked out. Even my mistakes are great.
Oh gosh.
Okay, what are you most excited or nervous about?
I'm excited to eat the cake.
Is that what you're most excited about, eating the cake?
Yeah, literally. I've been telling everyone that I can't wait to eat her cake. I'm literally gonna find whoever has the strawberry tier, because that's the only one we're not gonna taste. I'm gonna try to cop one of those. Because we have 3 tiers, which honestly I felt so famous. When they were like, oh, you could have 3 tiers of cake, I was like, I'm so
Or-
popular!
Usually wedding cakes have 3 tiers, but we got to choose different flavors of icing and cake for each tier.
Well, no, I mean, like, I really thought with a wedding this small, even though it feels big to me, it would only be 2 tiers. Because, like, in my head, a slice of cake, I always had, like, micro slices of cake. I've never had, like, a big, whopping slice of cake, you know?
hmm
But that's how they measure it. And I got a 3-tier cake, and they're like, what do you want for each of the tiers? I'm like, oh, here we go. And I think we chose fantastic flavors, so I'm going to try to steal some of the middle layer that we're not going to get. So yeah, I'm excited for a cake. I'm excited for our honeymoon, obviously. I think we made a really good choice for who we are.
But that's
Which-
not in the wedding.
Oh, okay. I am excited to see Josh cry.
Really?
And, huh?
You're excited to see me cry?
Yeah. Every girl dreams of walking down the aisle and he's like crying. He's like, look, God, that's my bride. Or you could like jump up and down. That's more you. Anyway, I'm excited for the worship part. I think that's gonna be really cool. And if you are crying, that's gonna be funny. What is my fair foundation? I'm excited for our first dance. If we can finally nail it, we're choreographing our first dance, and I think that's going to be really cool. So if we could actually get that down, that'd be really nice. I am nervous about our first dance because we're not done with it. I'm nervous about worship because we are both playing instruments that we are not strongest at. Interesting choice, but it's what worked. And I am nervous about the rehearsal dinner. Our families are meeting for the first time after rehearsal dinner. Not that I think things are going to go crazy or bad. I'm just like nervous about it because like it's something new and different and something so far out of my control. I'm nervous about the lack of communication a little bit on like these tiny things. Like we don't have like a schedule set necessarily with the venue. Like we haven't talked to the DJ. Like just certain things that like come with having an all-inclusive place. They're handling a lot, and like what if they're just like, and now we're cutting the cake, and I'm like, but I'm still eating my chicken. You know, I'm nervous about not having a good time. Honestly, like being bored. I'm not really a party person. Like even at other people's weddings, I'm like, alright. I know I'll be busy the whole time, but like what if during every single moment that I'm busy, I'm just like, alright, let's wrap this up. You know what I mean? And I think I'm going to be really tired because I'm just a nappy tired person. So like, I'm worried about getting cranky. And I'm worried about passing out because I never drink enough water. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm probably gonna
I'm nervous
cry.
that we'll lose our marriage license too.
The piece of paper?
Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's important. We could always get another one.
Not easily.
I'm
not
probably
often.
gonna cry. I hope I'm not gonna like sob. I don't think I'm gonna like.
I don't think you're gonna like. I don't think you're gonna like ugly cry and blubber and.
Yeah.
Tissue. I don't think you're gonna be like that. Like, you know.
Yeah. I am most excited for just the both of us, like at the end of the I do's, and then our officiant says, you know, I now pronounce you husband and wife. I think I'm excited for that.
I think it's gonna be great because we picked a fantastic exit song.
Yeah, we did. But it's just like the, you know, it's the relief. It's a 5-year investment with one other person. You finally get to the finish line, and it's like, this covenant's now written, you know, obviously on paper with a wedding license, but also it's written in heaven. And that's one of the only like covenants we can make with another person and God that's been approved by him. So I think it's gonna be like, one, it's gonna be a huge relief because
It's done.
yeah, as great as this is, it's like it's done. We can move on to this next phase of life that we've been working towards. It's like graduation, except we won't be in debt. You don't have to pay Josh loans for the next 15 years, but never mind. That's a whole can of worms.
We've spent all day complaining about student loans.
But two, I think it's just gonna be like an amazing. It's gonna be a huge part of our story, a huge part of our testimony. Nobody gets to take that from us. It's something we'll carry for the rest of our lives.
I'm also excited to see the photos and the videos after because we're doing a lot to organize that. Or I'm kind of doing a lot to. That's one thing I took on by myself, like figuring out photos and videos and stuff. So one of my best friends is actually our photographer, which a lot of people advise against, but
She's like a
whatever.
professional photographer, though.
Yeah, but a lot of people advise working with friends for your wedding.
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean,
it's
if
a
your
high-stress
Your
situation.
friends suck.
Yeah, I know. She's great, and she did
took our engagement photos.
Um,
They turned out awesome.
they turned out so great. Where are they? I think they're over there.
They're over there.
She did a really good job with them, and like because she knows us, we're comfortable with her. I think we're both kind of awkward on, like, I wouldn't say we're awkward in video. We're like okay, but like definitely on camera, like when people are like pose.
I'm excited also for the for worship. We're performing worship. Very excited for that. I think I'm most nervous about the vows.
Cause you didn't write yours yet.
Well, no, I'm not worried about that.
I am.
It's that like, what if you just cry, and then you can't talk through it, and it's just awkward. It's the most awkward thing. Everybody's like looking at you. You're just like, ow. It's like it can't come out, and everybody you're wasting 10 minutes just saying 3 sentences. So I'm a little bit nervous for that, and I'm also as excited as I am for the first dance. I'm nervous about that because it's hard. It's difficult choreographing a dance and then performing it.
It's also hard because he doesn't know what my dress is gonna be like. So I keep telling him, like, theoretically, you're stepping on my dress right now. You're stepping on my dress right now. You're stepping on my dress right now. Like, oh, I just whacked you in my dress. You're too close to me. Like, it's hard for him to visualize. It's even hard for me to visualize, like, what it's actually going to feel like day of and, like, what we'll have the space to do and, like, how certain things, like, that he can see now that won't be seen because my dress is just, you know, like, how are you going to find my leg for the lift? You know what I mean? Like, certain things like that. So that'll be interesting, but good, hopefully. Mm-hmm. Even if we completely bomb certain parts of it, like, the parts we get right are still going to look really cool, so whatever.
Yeah, it'll be impressive either way. Second to last question. How much left is there to do with less than 10 days to go?
I have to buy the sparklers today.
Oh, yeah.
I have to finish up the bridesmaid bouquets.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, honestly, it's fine. Like, if I wait until my sisters arrive here and they help me out with it, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Yeah, it really wouldn't. We have to put together
you need a tie?
I do need a tie. We have to put together the table number things we decided to do it on our own.
Yeah.
Where we're going to have, like, a picture and then a piece of vellum paper saying the number.
Yeah, which is a play on our invitations. Our invitations were like that.
Yeah, it was like a picture in the back and then wedding invitation information on that, like, semi-transparent piece of paper.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was cool. I really liked how they came out.
I think they came out so good, and Josh helped me a lot with those. He actually came up with the idea. Yeah, so those are the table numbers, and then we're going to do a table chart also that have, like, the matching photos, which I think is going to be fun. I have to do a Cricut DIY thing for the welcome sign and we have to paint the rest of the welcome sign. So we have, like, this mirror that we're painting and making our welcome sign, and then we're doing a sign that is for like, photo wall that we have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna come out cool.
I think that's it. Anyway, yeah, I think not a lot left, but also so much because there's the move in the middle of all this.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, you actually start running out of time because if you're buying things online, like shipping times.
So for reference, today is Wednesday. On Friday and Saturday and Sunday I'm moving, and then Saturday after that is
the wedding.
Yeah.
And, like, on that Wednesday, like the Wednesday before, that's when family starts arriving. And we're working this whole time, by the way. So, like, we're not off work. We're working this whole week, and then we're working up until Wednesday. So Thursday is our first day off. Or Thursday's my first day off. He only took off Friday.
Mm-hmm. And then after that we have the honeymoon, which is awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
That's gonna be fun, and we have a lot to do for that. That we haven't even, like, really begun packing or, like, thinking about as much.
Well, we have a place to sleep, so that's cool.
That's all that matters. That's not all that matters. Like, we need food.
There's a Taco Bell 13 minutes from the place. I just found this out.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
We'll never go hungry.
Oh gosh. Or we will be starving the whole time and ill.
No.
Last question. Do you regret having a wedding?
Do I regret having a wedding? No. I took time to think about this because, I mean, it's cheaper than what we were looking to spend, but it's still a good chunk of money. At the end of the day, yes, nobody, like, you're not going to be like, oh man, like, that one day was, you know, the best day of my life.
Well, a lot of people say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people say their wedding day was the best day of life.
Oh, I thought they say, like, it was a really cool day, but all the days after that, when you're actually married, those are better.
Depends who you talk to.
That's true. But I was very much in that mindset, like, oh, it's just one day. Why dump basically
Years
half
worth of
a
savings.
like half of a car on the wedding? We didn't spend half of a car's worth on the wedding, but still,
Depends
it's
what kind of car.
I mean, yeah, it's a used car.
Well,
maybe.
actually, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I actually have no clue how much we ended up spending because a lot actually didn't go through the wedding budget. Like, as we added things that we wanted, like I said, our expectations kind of changed throughout. We, like, took a lot out of our paychecks and, like, just cut down on our lifestyle for the past 4 months.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know how much we ended up spending on this wedding. I have, like, a bit of a estimate.
And we can go through that in another video when we go through the finances.
Yeah.
But going
on my
back to the
channel,
question.
probably.
No, I don't regret it. I think that when you have something worth celebrating, you ought to celebrate it. It's one of the, like, genuine, innocent, non-destructive ways to enjoy yourself and your life that has been given as a gift to us. So, even if it's small and simple, and which I think our wedding is small and relatively simple. Like, I was telling Adam this, like, as traditional as it is, we cut out a lot of the stuff that wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
So, but we're still making sure that it's like our wedding, and we're doing the things that we think are enjoyable, so that we can properly celebrate it. So no, I don't regret it. I don't regret it. At the end of the day, you know, God does bless marriages. He blesses weddings. So whatever money we spend into it, it's not just an investment into one day. It's an investment into how we're going to start off our married life. So I'm really happy about it.
That was a nice answer.
You're gonna say the opposite.
No, I don't regret having a wedding. It depends on the day.
Yeah.
I would have been just as happy eloping, but I think at some point I would have regretted not having those memories. But, like, our friends got married during COVID and had, like, a very, very small ceremony. The thing is, like, the people that would be involved in a very, very small ceremony for us, like, it wouldn't have felt complete. You know? Like, this is the smallest number we can get, including, like, while also including everyone that we would have wanted there. So, like, even if we eloped, like, other people would have wanted to be there. I don't know, it's just, like, complex. Do I wish we did something simpler for our wedding? No. Do I wish we did something more extravagant for our wedding? No. Like, I think our wedding, if we were going to have a wedding, is the perfect wedding for us. Although it's not at all the wedding that I imagined for us, you know? I think if I had any insight into what our lives could have looked like if we skipped out on the wedding and invested it into our lives, then maybe. Actually, probably. You know what I mean? Like, if it could have meant buying a house sooner, like, getting the car that we want, and things like that, and, like, just getting set up in our lives a little sooner, then yeah, probably. I don't know if I would choose to stay over a more stable life for us sooner.
Yeah.
But there's no way to guarantee that, like, that would have happened. So, no, I don't regret it. Right now.
Yeah. So those were 10 questions, 10 days before the big day. We hope you weren't too annoyed by us talking your ears off, and we hope you found something helpful.
Stay tuned for more wedding content. We're actually positioning cameras all over our wedding through our friends to kind of home video style, vlog style-ish.
We're
our
recording the wedding.
No, but, like, we don't have a videographer, so it's, like, very DIY, and I think that's an interesting take that we're doing.
And it's cheap.
Yeah, stay tuned for more wedding stuff and more marriage stuff to come, and all of his moving content and my moving content later. So subscribe if you wanna join us on live.
Yes. Tolkien, come.
Tolkien,
Tolkien,
come here.
come.
He's gonna try to eat the whole stick.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, put it in the comments if you want a video about the dog.
Yeah, we were thinking about potentially doing the same thing, but about
the
becoming first-time pet parents.
Dog owners. We're not his parents.
Yes, we are. When we enter the door, he goes, "Mommy!" And then he sees you and he goes,
Yes,
"Daddy!
because we are
Daddy!"
his dog owner. He's our owner. He's really enjoying that thing. He's in trance.
His eyes are like. So anyway, stay tuned for future videos, and we will see you next time.